Dear students, last week in the video related to poem I Remember, the introduction to the poem was found missing. Therefore, before we continue with the book exercises, I would like to recapitulate the poem. First point is, the poem I Remember is written by Thomas Hood. It describes the world around us. Therefore, it's a descriptive poem. You can note down, you can make a note in your notebook. It is a descriptive poem as it describes the world around us. The poet has written this poem to capture his childhood days. Therefore, very nostalgically, he recalls his childhood memories. What is nostalgically? Very sadly, as if he's longing for those days to come again. Now, I'll repeat. Poet has written this poem to capture his childhood days. Therefore, very nostalgically, he recalls his childhood memories, which were full of joy as compared to his present life, which is full of worries, tensions, and turmoils. Just note down. Next. He found pleasures in simple things of nature as a child, but now his maturity takes him far away from joy as it mirrors the realities of life. He can see the things clearly and understand everything very well. You can say he's no more ignorant now. Please have a close look to it so that you can have you can recall the poem, read it once again and just go through these lines. Right? Now, get ready with your notebook. And I'm going to give you the sample answers. The answers could be written by you in your own words also. But I've given you the sample answers to the book exercises. And you have to write the answer in the complete sentence form. Please do not write short the way I have written. Write complete answers properly in your notebook. These are sample answers. Otherwise, those who can write answers on their own, it will also be accepted. Now the part first question, nor brought too long a day. I'll just keep it nearby. The question is, nor brought too long a day. What did not bring too long a day? The answer is the sun. You can write, the sun did not bring too long a day. Just write complete sentence in a notebook. Then next question is, why was the day never too long for the poet? Come to the answer. Because he was constantly occupied with several activities as a child. He would never get bored. He would derive pleasures from various elements of nature. Next. Do you think this line indicates that the poet possibly finds his days long now? Why? The answer to it is yes. You can complete yes. The answer could be yes. The poet possibly finds his days long now because there is little happiness in his life now. He has nothing to occupy himself with as he has grown old. And next is, it was a childish ignorance. What did it refer to? Start with this. Start the answer this way. The word it, put in inverted commas, single inverted commas, refers to the thought which the poet had as a child, that the fir trees were close to the sky. Now next question is, why does the poet refer to it as childish? Because you can just start with the question itself, that the poet refers to it as childish because it was his. You can write it was his immature thought, or it was an immature thought. You can write the answers in your own words too. Next is the poet still as ignorant now as he was as a child? The answer is no. The poet isn't ignorant now as he was a child. He is mature enough to understand the reality. He is mature enough to understand the reality. Next question, third A part. To know that I am farther off from heaven. Why did the poet feel closer to heaven earlier? The answer to this question is because he found happiness and joy in the different elements of nature. He valued even the little pleasures that the life had to offer. So he felt closer to happiness. Just note down. The poet feels closer to heaven. Felt, you can say, because it's did. The poet felt closer to heaven earlier because he found happiness and joy in the different elements of nature. He valued even the little pleasures that the life had to offer. So he felt closer to happiness. Now B part, I'm not going to show you the book. Why does the poet feel farther off from heaven now? The answer to this question is, it is so because he is unable to connect with the things around him with the same childish ignorance. He no longer finds comfort and solace. Solace is peace. What does the word solace mean? The word solace means peace in nature, comfort in nature. No? So he feels far away from heaven. Next is, how does the knowledge of being farther away affect the poet? Answer is, it makes him nostalgic, sad, unhappy. Sad and unhappy is the other synonym for nostalgic. You can write any of these words, any one of it. It makes it nostalgic. This could be written. I hope you have noted down. Take a closer look to it. Next, long answer questions, children. I'm not going to give you the complete answer. I'm going to give you the key words. Please frame your answers yourself. First question is, what did the poet remember about the sea? First question I'm talking about. What does the poet remember about the house where he was born? So you can very well, after reading the poem, you can read the poem twice, thrice and get the answer. He remembers the window. Just elaborate it. Elaboration means just, explain in detail. He remembers the window through which the sun came peeping in. Then the garden. He remembers all the flowers. Then Lebanon tree. Swings, fir tree, etc. Please explain in detail. Now, second question also. The sun, why does the poet say that the sun came peeping in? The sun has been personified here in these lines. The sun came very quietly to wake him up early in the morning. You can add in your own words. Next is, what surrounded why does the poet wish the night had borne his breath away? Next question. So that he does not have to wake up to the harsh reality of life, which is full of tensions and hardships. These made him. Now next part is, why did the poet wish that the night, and because these made him melancholic. Melancholic means sad. The realities of life made him sad. What surrounded the poet's house? The beautiful garden with many flowers. You can name the flowers. Remember, you can mark the fir tree, laburnum tree, swings, etc. Please elaborate. Elaborate means write the answer in detail in your own words. The same thing has been repeated. Same point has to be repeated again and again. Question number 5. How did the poet's spirit fly when he was young? He was carefree. He had no troubles. He could feel pleasures in simplest things of nature. Please note the points and just write in your own words. 6th question. What does the child in the poem realize as he uses the swing? What does? So it's does over here. It should be he realizes. Yes, he realizes the way birds would feel in the fresh air. Next is, what was the poet's opinion about the tree? They were tall enough to touch the sky, and hence they were closer to God. This was the poet's opinion. Next is, which lines in the poet prove, D, first part, which lines in the poem prove that the poet was happier as a young boy? You can write, but now I often wish. So check, refer to the page, the previous page, page number 36 in this. The first stanza only, the second last line, but now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. So mark it. Next is, what is the mood of the poem? The poet is nostalgic. Second part is, explain your view. Why is the poet nostalgic? You can explain the poem in short. That poet is nostalgic. Nostalgic means sad, because as compared to his present life, his childhood days were far much better, because it was free. He had no troubles. He could feel the pleasure in simplest things of nature. The same points could be repeated one by one. After this, children, word study is equally important. Come to the word study. In the word study, you just have to, the first question, E part is, you have to just find out, write simile, S for simile and P for personification. Identify the simile and personification in sentence and write. Snow had wrapped a white blanket. Underline wrapped. Wrapping. Wrap over here is a, like you have, snow had wrapped a white blanket. So snow has been personified as it has been wrapping. It has wrapped a blanket over Missouri. Snow all over the Missouri was like snow wrapping white blanket over Missouri. The snowfall looked as if the snow had wrapped his blanket over Missouri. Missouri is a hill station. It's personification, right? P for personification first. Second is, the tree stood as solid as the ground as we stand. As solid as the ground. So this is simile. The tree was firm on the ground, as solid as the ground. Just as the ground is, it has been compared, the firmness is compared to the ground. The tree's firmness is like the tree has been standing on the earth, has been compared to that to the ground. Simile. Okay. Then the tropical storm slept for 2 days. Sleeping is a human activity. The storm sleeping is personification. Sid and Sam are as different as chalk. As different as. Over here it is again simile. Anubhuti is as tall as bean pole. As tall as bean pole. As a bean pole. This again as tall as a simile. Wherever you have as, dash as, or like used in a sentence, that is a simile. Because simile is a figure of speech used to compare two things that have similar but are unlike each other. Okay. Next is coming to the F part. You just have to, just like the poet cherishes his childhood memories of nature, read these descriptions. Which aspects of nature do they refer to in the poem? Symbols of beauty and happiness. They refer to roses, violets. These are all the names of the flowers. Lilacs, lily cups. So these are symbols of beauty and happiness. Now what has been referred to as the messengers of joyous freedom? That is birds. Because they're free, they're carefree, and they fly so high, they are free to go anywhere. Right, birds. Third is tall and lofty, reaching up to the sky and hence to God. So this is fir trees. Fir trees. Right? Now children, learn the word meanings of this chapter also. And I would like to inform you that the question paper pattern of literature is also changed now for you for class 8. You will get 6 questions with its subparts, and each question 1 will be for 16 marks, like 3, 3, 3. These are the subparts, 3, 3, 3, and the last would be for 4. Okay, so similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will get altogether 6 questions, out of which you have to attempt any 5. And these questionnaires will include poetry, reader chapters and novel chapters. Clear? It will have poetry, reader chapters and novel chapters. So you have to be thorough with word meanings as well as word study along with the question answers. And you may be asked the question in between the chapter, especially for the novel. So please prepare yourself very well.